Hey there. All right, tonight we have a chicken and pasta and spinach dish called chicken and spinach skillet pasta. How simple can that be? We're going to use some cubed up chicken. Got about a cup of diced onion. We've got or minced onion. We've got a couple tablespoons or couple teaspoons, tablespoon, whatever, of minced garlic. We'll have some diced tomatoes, some chicken stock, some half and half, some mozzarella cheese because everything has cheese, some penne pasta, spinach, of course, for spinach, and some salt and pepper and Italian seasoning. So we'll put that all together. I'm going to start up the chicken first, and then once that's browned, we'll come back and I'll show you where it goes from there. But in goes the chicken first. So my little scoopy here. I've had the oil, about 2 tablespoons of oil already heating up in the pan over here, so you can hear the chicken immediately start to sizzle. Break it up here. About a pound or so of chicken breast that has been cubed up into bite size. Human bite size, not teenager bite size. Okay, so about 1 inch cube. Something that your guests can eat without feeling like they're chewing on the side of a cow. All right, get that going, and I'm going to put a little bit of. So it says a teaspoon of Italian seasoning. That doesn't seem like very much. So I'll show you how much a teaspoon is of this. There's a teaspoon. But I think I'm going to go with maybe 2 teaspoons. Because I like lots of flavor in my food. And then, all still browning up, I'm going to add some salt. It's always good to okay, salt. Salt isn't coming out. Maybe out of salt. Okay, kind of out of salt. We got a shaker, so I guess we'll have to improvise. All right. Salt. And some freshly ground pepper. Flip. There you go. All right, I'm going to let that brown up for just a few minutes here. When we come back, then we'll continue with the rest of this, which will consist of taking the chicken out, letting it go to the side. We're going to start doing all the other stuff into the pan, and then the chicken gets added back in, and then we'll start the pasta boiling and all of that, and soon it'll be wonderful. So we'll see you in a few minutes. Okay, We're having way too much fun here. All right, chicken is pretty much done. It's cooked through. I don't want to cook it too much and dry it out. So now we're going to pull it out of here. We're going to want to leave the oil in, so that's why I'm using a slotted spoon. Pull the chicken out. And we're going to put in the onion, let it cook, and just add the garlic, let it cook. That is there. We're going to use this little tin foil, cover that, keep it warm. And we have still the oil in here. So we're going to put in our cup or so of onion, minced onion. Let that cook for a minute or two. That cooks. Then we'll put the garlic in, let it cook. So I'm going to check on my, we got water starting to heat up over here. It hasn't got quite to the boiling stage. So I'm going to do something tonight that you don't rarely see me do. I'm going to actually do the recipe to the size that it says. I frequently double everything up because I eat a lot. I eat like a teenager, even though my metabolism is that of a mid-aged man. But tonight we're going to actually do the normal sizes, and we'll see how that comes out. Probably tomorrow night I'll be wanting to make some more of it. But so we're going to only use half of this is a 1 pound box of penne pasta, so we're just going to use half of that. 8 ounces instead of 16, that's what the recipe calls for. Now it says with half this box of pasta, I'm supposed to use this entire 5 ounce container of baby spinach. That looks like a lot of spinach, but we'll see. So I'm going to add that kind of as it goes. It'll wilt and it will come down in size when it wilts in the heat, but it seems like a lot, so we'll see. All right. Our onion is cooked. We're cooking. Now we'll add in our garlic. And again, now, okay, so it said 1 tablespoon. I probably put 2 tablespoons of garlic in because it's garlic. And at the end, I'll probably put in more cheese than it says too. So I'm not really following it exactly to the recipe, but cheese and garlic. Okay, gotta put more of that in. All right, let that cook. And then we're going to add in our tomatoes and our chicken stock, and what else? And then some more salt and pepper. We'll see if we need to put more salt and pepper in, but I'm gonna let this another minute or so. Garlic and onion. I love that I'm Irish. I love my Irish heritage. But there must be some Italian in me somewhere because, man, garlic and onion and Italian foods, good stuff. All right, the pasta, the water's beginning to boil over here, so I'm going to put in about a half of our box of pasta. That back up so it'll start boiling. In goes diced tomatoes. We need 2.5 cups of chicken broth. There's 1. 2. We're going to put in actually that's all we're going to do for now. So, all right, I'm going to stir all this together. I'm going to bring it to a boil. Just a little bit on that. Get our dishes out of the way. Can out of the way. All right, we're gonna let that boil. We're gonna let the pasta just begin to boil, so we'll get that going. And then as soon as we're ready to go to the next step, we'll be back. So I'll see you in just a few seconds to you. Could be hours to me, we'll see. See, this is what happens when you don't read the recipe fully before you start to cook something. I did this on purpose so that you would see what happens when you screw up. So the pasta was supposed to be put in there to start cooking, not in its own separate pot. So pot gone, pasta in skillet. So, and then put the chicken back in and let the whole thing come to a boil. And once it's boiling, we let it simmer for 10-15 minutes maybe, so the pasta is nice and tender. Then we'll come back in, put the half and half and mozzarella. I think that's how it goes. Yeah, that's now that I've actually read the recipe all the way through. The producer of this show just must be like. Anyway, so we'll be back once this is boiling and it's been simmering and we're ready to add in the half and half and mozzarella cheese, and then we'll put in the spinach and let it wilt, and then we top the whole thing with some Parmesan cheese when we serve it on the plate. So we'll be back then. Okay, we're back, and our pasta is tender. I know that because I squish down on it, cuts right through with my little thing. So that's what you're looking for the pasta. So now it's time to pour in a half cup of half and half. Half and half is half milk and half cream, a little thicker, creamier substance. Hence, called half and half. So that will kind of thicken up, and we're going to put in some mozzarella cheese. Ooh, can I get it there without spilling? All right, half and half. Says a cup of mozzarella cheese. That's a cup, but by golly, we've got, we're almost done. We might as well just, you know, use up more. So, 1 bag of cheese. Now to mix this all in, let the cheese melt. Cheese is melting. I don't know what. I'm gonna ask my videographer. Is that enough cheese?
Yeah.
No, she thinks it's enough cheese, and she's the cheese freak, so she says it's enough cheese, then it's enough cheese. I'd add more, but. Okay, and now the last part is the spinach. And I'm going to add just bits and pieces at a time. I'm going to kind of tear it up so there's not huge pieces in there. It says 5 ounces. Well, we'll put some more in. All right, and we'll mix it, let the spinach wilt. Spinach is wilted down pretty good. Maybe we can put a little more spinach. We'll be healthy. What the heck? Won't use the piece that threw on the floor though. That'd probably be disgusting. So get some fresh ones out of there. All right, that'll probably be enough. We'll get that all mixed in. More wilting to be done. And then we'll be ready to serve. All right. I think we are mixed and wilted. So we will turn off our stove and again I'm going to use a slotted spoon because it's got some good sauce in there, and I might add a little sauce afterwards, but I didn't want to have a plate full of liquid. So as you can see, this made a pretty good amount for being the actual recipe amount, not doubling it up. I think if I doubled up, we would have been quite the overflow here. So we got quite a bit left over for meals later this week. And then we have Parmesan cheese to sprinkle on top. Because cheese. All right, I think we are set. And now the taste test. Try to get a little of everything. Goodbye.